everyone. I am Dushimwana Viateur as usual. In the last video, we have saw different causes of mass wasting, types of mass wasting, and in today's lesson, we are going to see the impact, both positive and negative impacts of mass wasting, and also strategic measures that can be used to control mass wasting, particularly in our region of East Africa. Allow me to recap on the different causes of mass wasting before we go to the impact of mass wasting. Have you seen that mass wasting, by definition, is the movement of rocks, soil, and debris materials downhill under the influence of gravity? And we saw that the mass wasting is caused by different factors, where we found that number one is relief, number two is climate, number three is nature of parent rocks. Number four is nature of soil types. Number five is the influence of tectonic movement, where we saw how faulting and warping leads to mass wasting. And the next one was the role of living organism and the role or the influence of human activities, which include construction activities, mining and coaling activities, and also transportation, construction of transportation, or deforestation of trees just for the search of settlements. Overstocking or overgrazing cannot be forgotten. Also, overstocking or overloading, which includes the huge accumulation of different weighted materials, also increase the risk of mass wasting. So allow me to go on with today's lesson, where we are going to see, I tell you that the way this program is shaped, we will use model question answers, where I formulate different most asked questions in different areas and find the answers to those questions. And this program can help every single individual during his personalized learning everywhere you are. Just what you can do is to subscribe on my YouTube channel. All resources will be available at time. Yes, I'm going to start on the question number one, which is to explain positive effects and negative effects of mass wasting. Yes, mass wasting involves the downhill of rock materials under the influence of gravity, but the impact is not always negative. Here we are going to see also the positive impact of mass wasting. Mass wasting exposes minerals such as gold in Kinyamuhunga or in different areas where have been took a mass wasting. Minerals are exposed on the underground and easy extraction of minerals. Mass wasting also results into fill of pits and holes left after mass wasting. Also, there is different holes and pits which are left due to the influence of mass wasting. Then after mass wasting, it is filled due to the rock materials and fragments or sediments are filled in that holes. Then mass wasting acts as the agent to fill those unfulfilled holes. Mass wasting facilitates soil formation. This is by exposing rock to agent of weatherings. It's usual and understandable that mass wasting left rocks bare. As the result, the rocks are impacted by weathering agents like temperature and rainfall as well. And this leads to soil formation. Mud flows and soil creep may deposit fertile soil in the lowlands. As the result of mass wasting, there is different soils which are removed from the downhill areas to the lowlands. And sometimes those soil that are removed are fertile. This deposited soil will give high yields in the different areas of the lowland. And it is the result of mass wasting. Mass wasting also leaves features such as terraces and scarps that attract tourism. Where the areas experienced with mass wasting, especially in mountainous regions or hilly areas, it left with different traces and other features. Those features act as the agent to attract tourism. And you know what does the tourism bring to us? Yes. Also, mass wasting acts as educational and creation of employment. Different. That is why even now we are talking about mass wasting. It gives topic for researchers to deal with and also creates employment for different specialists who gives the counselors and advice on how we can live in the areas which are prone to mass wasting. Allow me to continue with negative effects of mass wasting. After getting now the positive effect of mass wasting, let us talk also about the negativity of mass wasting. Yes, mass wasting involves the mud flow. This is one among the types of mass movement or mass wasting. This mud flow carries fertile from upland to the lowland, and then those upland remain infertile. That is how, for example, we can see different fertile soil of highland like Kenya Highland and Kigezi Highlands are removed. And landslide may be also fertile. Here, in areas which are experienced with mass wasting, also there is the risk of the different deaths of peoples. People are losing their life. Also, landslide may block roads and disorganize transport and communication. Where landslide occurs, it barriers or bans transport activities. And also roads are destroyed. Landslide may block river system leading to flooding. In areas where there is a landslide and mass movement, when it meets with the river streams, it burns the flow of the rivers, and as the result, it leads to flooding, and the flooding also resulted into the death of aquatic life and also destruction of nearby properties. Disorganized electricity distribution by firing electric poles. It's easy. Mass wasting involves the downhill movement of soil, and different trees, different poles are also firing down. As when the poles of electricity firing down, also it destabilizes the electricity line. That is how mass wasting is negative impact for the people, for the animals, and for the different properties. Let us go on the second question, which is interested on how we are going to find which are measures can be taken to reduce the risk of mass movement and the effect of mass wasting. The question statement says that describe the steps being taken to control mass wasting in East Africa. Yes, the government and other responsible stakeholders should ensure the following policies and promote them. Afforestation in areas of prone to mass wasting such as on mountain and hilly region. There should be planting of trees in the area of highlands or the other areas which are prone to mass wasting. National Environment Management Authority, which is NEMA, is educating people on dangers and means of controlling mass wasting. NEMA also provide different trainings and different workshops on how people can be aware on how to control mass wasting, and also by understanding the dangers of mass wasting, they adopt the means and measures on how they can reduce the risk of mass wasting. Soil erosion measures like ridges, terraces, growing of crops cover are adapted on hilly areas. Also, on the hilly areas or mountain areas, there is different measures like soil erosion controls, such as terracing, contours proofing, and also ridges was adapted to reduce the risk of mass movement. In different towns of East Africa like Kampala, concrete walls are being constructed along cliffs and road cuttings. You know, these road cuttings involve the cutting of rocks or soil just for construction of roads. Then there should be a construction of concrete and strong walls so that to reduce the risk of mass wasting. The next measures, where roads are constructed in hilly areas like Kigezi, civil engineering reduces steepness of the roads by excavation and planting grasses along the road cutting. Yes, this is clear also where the road is cutted or the rocks are cutted. In order to reduce the risk of rock fall and rock slide, the plants and trees, also grasses were planted, so to reduce the risk of mass wasting. Settlement is discouraged in areas prone to landslide. This involves the settlement scheme where peoples are prohibited to settle in areas which are prone to mass wasting. The next measures is meaning and calling surface regulation are put in place by NEMA. Also, we saw that different humanist activity like meaning and calling are the one of the agent which leads to mass wasting. And those sectors are just being regulated by NEMA so that they can reduce the risk of mass wasting by setting their policies under which they work on and flows. Yes, this is the end of today's lesson. We see impacts of mass wasting, both positive and negative impacts of mass wasting. Also, we look at on how we can reduce or measures to control mass wasting. I hope this video was very interesting for you, and your comment is supportive for us to improve the quality of this video. Thank you for watching. I am Dushimana Viateur. See you soon.